Chapter 21, Emily. Status. Ugh. Dear Hope, Mom's cell phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Mom was painting in the studio, so I peeked at the message from Mrs. Barrett requesting all B5 parents come to our house tonight at 5 p.m. to discuss serious concerns about our children's learning environment. Parents only. My heart sank to my toes. Mrs. Graham! I massively screwed up by telling the police that we'd gone to the shelter for an assignment. Now there was going to be trouble, and all because of my big mouth. Miss Graham did not assign us to sneak out overnight. That was all us. I had to do something. I had to go to Mrs. Barrett's meeting too. But Mom and I are trying to rebuild trust, and since she's been making this huge effort to talk to me, put her work away, sit down for dinner, that kind of thing, lying to her did not seem wise. So I tiptoed into her studio, eyed the paint, splattered all over her arms, and told her the Barretts were hosting a meeting, that it was about Mrs. Graham, and I thought we should go. I did not mention parents only, but I didn't lie either. Her brow furrowed like she was concerned, and she said, yes, we should go. I feel like I'm heading into battle. This can only mean trouble. In desperate need of love and luck, Emily. Henry, scene. Kaylee's house for the big teacher roasting. Henry's waiting outside. Emily, walking up with her mom. Go on in, Mom. I'll stay and talk to Henry. Tries to smile but looks worried. Emily, what are you doing here? Henry, counting the ants on the sidewalk, waiting for my mom, thinking of ways to get rich and famous. What are you doing here? Emily, I've got to hear what the parents are saying. This is all my fault. Henry, don't blame yourself. It's more like 75% your fault. 25% goes to these parents. They need a hobby. Emily, gee, thanks. That's really comforting. I'm going to sneak in. Want to come? Henry, sure. That's got to be more fun than counting ants on the sidewalk. Henry and Emily slip into the front door and sit on the stairs in the hallway, not able to see who's talking. Parent number 1. We're sending our children to school to learn English and math, not sneak into homeless shelters or be the subject of social experiments. Parent number 2. How long has she been teaching anyway? Parent number 3. Does it do any harm if she teaches them about social issues as long as she gets the math and the English in there too? Parent number 4. It's not really her fault if some of the students took this project into their own hands. Parent number 1. Social issues and values should be taught at home, not at school. Parent number 3. Well, what do you propose we do? Parent number 2. Lodge a formal complaint with the school board. Henry whispers, okay, maybe it's 90% your fault. Kaylee winds her way down the stairs and whispers, what are you guys doing here? Henry, training to become professional spies. Kaylee, come to my room so they don't hear you. Henry pads upstairs. Emily's corrupting me. Kaylee, this is all your fault, you know. Points her finger at Emily. Emily, with an amazing amount of venom for someone who seems so sweet. Who are you to talk? Henry looks for an escape route. Kaylee, dear Miss Graham, Emily thinks she's such hot stuff barging into my house and dragging Henry along. Once I got her in my room, she started asking me why I told her the cheese pizza had meat in the sauce. Can't she take a joke? She acts like it's this huge deal. Please. And then she was all, we used to be friends. I don't understand what's going on. All I can say is that girl needs to take a chill pill. But then out of nowhere, Henry started tap dancing. I swear, tap dancing. Like with an imaginary cane and hat. Emily and I just stared at each other. That boy can't be serious for a second. And then Henry was all, ladies, let's put aside our differences. We've got to save our teacher from the witch hunt, which he tried to say with an English accent. But he had a point. I've seen my parents do this kind of thing before, and there's one thing I know for sure. This is not going to end well for you, Miss Graham. Henry can tap dance all he wants, but I don't think there's anything we kids can do to help you. Henry said I should tell my parents how great you really are. But here's the thing, in my family, it doesn't matter what I want. It only matters what my parents want, because they'll push and push until it happens. It's just like the river by our vacation house. From the shore, it looks all gentle, like the water's hardly moving, but once I'm in, I can't swim against it, no matter how hard I try. The current keeps pushing me forward. That's the way it is with my parents. It's easier to go along with the flow than it is to just fight against it. Sometimes I try to convince myself that I agree, just so I won't have to disagree. There's no point in swimming against the current. I won't get anywhere. It's better just to hang on for the ride. Kai. To the frog. My dad went to that big meeting at the Barretts last night. He left our house pumped up, but came back dragging. He said the parents are on a witch hunt and that he tried to be a voice of reason. He told them it was our idea, not Miss Graham's, and we need to take responsibility for our choices. But nobody listened to him, even though he's a professor and knows what he's talking about. What if they fire Miss Graham over this? And Cecilia has disappeared completely. I wish we never tried to go to that shelter. It was such a huge mistake. I'm so mad at Sharon, I can hardly look at her. She always thinks she knows everything, but clearly she doesn't. At lunch, she tried to tell me about a new idea. She was trying to fix things. I backed away from her and yelled, I'm done. I don't want any more of your ideas. I hurt her feelings bad. Her face crumpled, and then I wished I hadn't said it at all, because of course it's my fault too. Blake. Dear parents of B5, here at White Oak Elementary School, the safety and education of our students is our top priority. I am writing to notify you all that Miss Graham has been placed on administrative leave effective December 15th. After winter break, the district office will begin conducting an investigation, the results of which will be discussed at an upcoming school board meeting. Subsequently, the board will determine any disciplinary action. Rest assured, we will work on resolving this issue as quickly as possible and getting a permanent teacher back into room B5. Striving toward academic excellence, Principal Severance. Emily, status. Dear Hope, I can't believe it. I feel like the school walls have crumbled in around me. Looking around the room, I think my whole table group is feeling the same way. All the other students hate us too. They know it was us that screwed up, not Miss Graham. No matter who we tell, the grown-ups won't listen to us. Sharon, Kai, and I went to Principal Severance, but she told us this was something the adults would handle. OMG, I'm about to rip my hair out, and Cecilia hasn't come back to school yet. Where is she? There's an old picture book called Harold and the Purple Crayon. The kid walks around all over the place drawing things. It's like he's making up his own story as he goes. If he's falling, he draws a parachute. If he hits an obstacle, he draws an escape route. Too bad life's not really like that, because right now I need a purple crayon. Feeling frustrated, Emily. Blake. Kaylee, dear Miss Graham, my mother says you're in hot water. She says you're on administrative leave and that's why you haven't been back in school. We've got a sub, Miss Millbrook. She wears these big flowery dresses that hide her feet so she looks like she's gliding along the floor, like a giant float in a parade or something. She hands out worksheets all day so she can just sit there and play on her phone, and she's totally freaked out by Kermit. We've had to explain to her like 1,000 times that we're allowed to take Kermit out of his tank. It's like she thinks it's her classroom or something. My mother keeps talking on the phone and forgetting I can hear. This is the first time she's gotten a teacher placed on administrative leave. She's excited about it, I think. Usually when she's excited, it sort of trickles down to me and I get excited too. This time I feel sad and angry. I'm not alone though. Everyone is upset. Most kids are mad at Emily's group. They totally screwed everything up. They're the ones who should be placed on administrative leave. Nobody's even doing their class jobs anymore, but if they were, I'd vote to kick them off class council. Aviva, not only am I losing my teacher, but Miss Millbrook is a complete has a lot of frog phobia, and Cecilia hasn't been back to school. Miss Graham always said anyone can make a difference, but guess what? I think she's wrong. There is nothing I can do right now that will help this situation. I asked Miss Millbrook if I could take Kermit home for winter break. She got this surprised look on her face like she hadn't even thought about Kermit. I bet if I hadn't suggested it, she'd have left Kermit alone in the tank for 2 whole weeks, and we'd come back to find him starved to death. Yikes. The first night of Hanukkah is tomorrow, but the world feels too dark for my candles to make much of a difference. Although maybe we could all use a miracle. Kai, to the frog. Everyone's in pieces about Miss Graham, me too. But at least we know where Miss Graham is. She's at home. Where is Cecilia? Where is she? Why is no one out searching for her? I tried to ask Miss Tildy in the front office, but she wouldn't tell me anything. She just said she couldn't share any information about another student due to confidentiality. I wanted to shake her and say, yeah, but where is she? I feel like I'm trying to yell, but no one can hear me. Hello? A student is missing. That sticky note from Miss Graham is still stuck to her desk, taunting me with "Missed you today." I got so mad I wrote underneath it, "Where are you?" Real life is too hard. We're about to start winter break. It's almost Christmas. I'm not even excited. I still don't feel like reading. Jeez. This has been the worst month of my entire life. Cecilia, hola abuelita. At night, when I miss you the most, that's when my worries come. And nightmares of being separated from mommy leave me tossing and turning. But thank you, Abuelita, for your kind words to Mommy. I could tell it made her feel better to hear, no hay mal que por bien no venga. I doubt anything could possibly come from this, but I'll try to be patient. Thank you for talking to Mommy about moving on and getting me back into soccer. I really miss it. There isn't a lunchtime game at my new school. I like your idea of finding a different after school team, something near our new apartment. At least that would give me something to look forward to. Feliz Navidad, Abuelita. Hopefully things will be better in the new year. Words to practice. Nightmares. Pasadillas. Besos y abrazos, Cecilia.